Hello, you got me back. Welcome back to Point Blank with Genevive. If you watched my last video, I've just done the whole USA run. Mainly Los Angeles is sort of the first stop everyone goes to if you're like first time in USA. But yeah, I've just had an absolutely great time. I finally dropped my debut album. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. But welcome back. It's been a while. I've just been out there for a couple of weeks and got lots to talk about. So here we go. I hope you're doing well. And let's get into it. So I've just dropped the debut album, Don't Throw Your Pearls to the Pigs. It's out on all streaming platforms. Feedback's been really interesting. Obviously, the main talking point of the debut album is the cover art, the pig on the official cover art. Now, all streaming platforms obviously show the graphic image, but Instagram will obviously blur it. But let's talk about the pig. So the pig that is so controversial is representative of, because if you listen to the album, and in my previous videos and on social media, I've talked about how the debut album is all about keeping your pearls close to your chest. And what does that mean? Not letting everyone know your business. So your pearls is the things closest to you, your dreams, aspirations. Don't tell that to everyone because it's going to be trampled on. Who's going to trample on it? The pigs. Okay, and that may be people in your life closest to you. They will defile the belief system that you have about yourself. So that is what that is. And so having the pig's head on the abattoir butcher table is supposed to represent that you have got out of their hands. You have escaped the abuse. You have escaped the hate. You have escaped the jealousy. And now it's the pig's head that is on the table. And the same way, look, it's a touchy subject because the same way pigs go to a slaughterhouse is the same way somebody that's been through some type of verbal abuse, physical abuse, any type of abuse, people feel the same way as that pig when people's words have cut them. You know? So the same way you see the pig's head in that way is how people's words may have made you feel. So that's it. Do go check it out. Other people love it. You know, it's a love-hate thing. But yeah, that's that. I'm just happy the debut album's out. I did a launch party in Break Room 86 in Los Angeles, one of Los Angeles' biggest well-known 80s bar. And you go through a secret door to get in there. I think if I remember, the door is a vending machine. And you'd never know that behind there is just a whole underground club that just plays 80s music. So I absolutely love the vibe. And thank you for everyone that came. Obviously, the people that came were people that I met out in LA, connections that I had in advance. You know, so them going there, meeting me there, me doing... I did 2 tracks. I did Rivals and... what was it? Rivals. Yeah, Rivals and Modern Talking because it's an 80s bar. And then just talked a bit about the album. But I'm going to upload the video on my YouTube so you guys can check it out. But it was an absolute vibe. I love 80s, going back in time. And yeah, just great networking. Went to Hollywood, Universal Studios, Capitol Records, iHeartRadio. We had a meeting there because iHeartRadio has been playing my music, so we had a meeting there. just a lot has been going on. You know, promo, when you drop an album, you've got to get out there, got to connect with people that love your music. And so that's where we are. I want to do another video where I talk about sort of the first time stepping in downtown LA. What was going down? Like, obviously, you guys, if you've been following my podcast, you know that I talk about things of the spirit, seeing in the spirit, that everything you see is not carnal, right? So looking further into things, and 100%, when I touched down in downtown Los Angeles, it went off. And I'm not joking, it went off. Okay, things going off left, right, and center. Things that I would say are inexplainable in the natural and has to be spiritual. So, yeah, I do want to come back and talk to you guys about that. But, yeah, do let me know what you think about the debut album. 10 tracks. I did have a interlude. I had an interlude on the debut album. But then I changed my mind about it last minute. I wanted to do the interlude on a famous piano piece. And not all distributors, but my distributors, if there's music in the public domain, you can't have it on the album. But then other distributors allow it, even if you remake the piece. So we remade the piano piece. Incredible interlude, but I had to take it off the debut album if you wanted it out on, through my distributor. And so there was a bit of a delay getting it on Apple Music, but it's out now, and I hope you guys love it. But that was that. Let me think, because, you know, I've just been doing the matter stuff. Let's talk about one of Los Angeles' best known fashion designers, Francisco Alcazar. So for my single Young in Vain, you know, I went to Hollywood, and there are incredible designers down there. And like, you know, I met Liberace's personal fashion designer when Liberace was alive. If you don't know Liberace, he was a pianist. And so, yeah, I met his fashion designer just by chance, really, because I was just going to the shops looking for some pieces for my single Young in Vain. We did shoot the music video out in Joshua Tree, Palm Springs, in front of the Hollywood sign, because Young in Vain is a track all about you're coming out of the delay. You weren't in the limelight. You were sort of backstage. But now it's time for you to be in the light and to tell your story. The concept is you've been kept from the limelight. You've been kept from the fame. So that you don't die young in vain, essentially. Because Hollywood, a lot of people dying young, that type of thing. So for the video, we wanted to shoot in various locations that would show the character out of the limelight, but in the limelight, and how we did that. And then I'll get back to the outfit and the stylist of how it was styled, the different looks. But we shot out back somewhere. If I remember the name of where we shot, but it was a really iconic place on the way to Vegas. It's not coming to me right now, but on the place to Vegas, we shot there. And that's very out back. And there was a artist that painted it's called something City. Not Lost. I don't think it's called Lost City. It's called something City. I'm not sure. I can't remember right now. But an artist painted the terrain with hopeful messages bringing hope and light. And so, yeah, I wanted to shoot at that artist's work with his texts in the background. Because his texts were talking about stay out of Hollywood, you know, there's more to life than fame, money, selling out. So I thought that's perfect. Because then when you see the takes of me in Hollywood, it would make sense that it's supposed to represent that you've been through the testing, you've been through the delay, You've been able to reflect on your life. You haven't been in the fast lane. That's what I wanted to represent for Young in Vain. So then as I'm going through the different shops down in Hollywood, I go into Cosmos, right? And you can find the link on my in my Instagram to these amazing fashion designers. But yeah, Liberace's designer was just one of them. But then I met Francisco Alcazar, and he showed me some of his pieces, and I absolutely fell in love with this piece that he had that was, it looked Western, it looked like kind of country, not what I initially had planned on wearing. But then, I started talking to him, I was like, sorry, cars just went past this road. So I see this piece, and I start talking to Francisca Alcazar, and I was like, I need to work with you. Like, we tried the piece on, it fitted me down to the T. Everyone was like, all your pieces fit Genevieve, this is crazy. It's like he was designing for me. It was like I was the mannequin. I was like, 100%, you are the best fashion designer I've met so far. All of your pieces fit me down to the T. Like, we don't even need alterations. So yeah, we... he let me use his piece for Young in Vain, which I'm absolutely so appreciative of and madly in love with this piece. I'm going to be posting it up. And yeah, we shot in front of Elvis Presleys' Getaway, where him and Priscilla used to be for their honeymoon. I actually went to the Liberace Mansion. A lot of his fans still go there. And yeah, you can just go there respectfully and take a photo and keep it moving. So that's what we did. Palm Springs was ridiculous levels of heat. I've never been in a place so hot. And, being from South Africa, we know hot weather, but nothing prepared me for Palm Springs. We had to buy an umbrella to walk in the shade. It was painful. It felt like the only place where you could have shade was in your hotel room where the aircon was on. Because even having breakfast, lunch, dinner, you're still in the humidity of being outside. And it's so hot that most places where you eat have got sprayers that spray water, mist, out on the people sitting there eating. So you'll feel the mist slightly, and it's literally that hot. I mean, Palm Springs, it's all pretty much palm trees, desert. It's a desert oasis. That's what they call it. And yeah, even Elvis Presley's manager, he had a place out there. Was it Colonel Saunders? Is that his name? Something like that. But yeah, it's just interesting facts. He had a place out there, and then he actually convinced Elvis Presley to get a place out there and to live out there as well. And Elvis Presley, he recorded a lot of some of his biggest hits in the Getaway. So yeah, just a lot of nice things to know. Let me think. Right now we are working on the music videos. Who's That Girl? We're busy editing that. If you don't know, I released a single called Who's That Girl? But then I remade it. We remade the beat. The other beat was with another producer, and we were like, the song is just too good. The feedback is just too great. It got played by BBC introducing. We have to remake this. So we did, and we gave it more of a hip-hop type feel, R&B slightly. We shot the music video with a lowrider. I've never seen a lowrider in real life, but we met these two girls that had a lowrider and shot some amazing scenes. They put the car up on its side, did some shots like that. I think she actually drove the car on its side while I was sitting on the doorway when there was another car in front of us filming us. So yeah, just a lot of great connections, and went to a drop top car event where there was a bunch of drop top cars, and yeah, just I think the best trip I've been on. Obviously, there is a lot of content to post. Even coming back from Berlin and then doing LA straight away. Gosh, I've still got to do Atlanta. Atlanta is the next stop for me, hopefully. Because of course, Hollywood, you got the film stuff, and then Atlanta is all about the music. So we've got a couple of things out there that we need to go to. But yeah, let's talk about Who's That Girl for a bit. So we did the drop top shots. We shot in front of the Mandela Bay. Gosh, we shot a couple of music videos right now in the USA. Let me just think. So Mandela Bay, and by the way, that was where that famous shooting was, of the shooter. I'm telling you, when I walked into Mandela Bay, I was planning my exit route, because at any moment, anything can pop off in the USA. Like 100% need to talk about at some point how I did not feel safe. But the USA, it's got amazing opportunities. But just even being in downtown LA, just the rowdiness, I'll talk about it in another video, but at any moment, something can go off, and things were going off. It's just about dodging the scenario, you know what I mean? Keeping it moving, get what you need, and then keep it moving. Not too many long conversations, because a lot of people, they're just not in their right minds, So, Mandela Bay, did some networking in there. There were some creatives in there. People in the film industry were in there. So, that's the thing. As you go in Hollywood, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, there's creatives everywhere. Like the most amount of creatives that I've ever met in a close amount of time. Because in a small amount of time, like I swear, every sixth person that you speak to is doing something creative, or that they are friends with a big artist. They're like, yeah, so-and-so is my big friend. When I was out there in LA, an artist that I'd spoken to from where I am now, his best friend was just chilling next to me by the pool. He's a DJ. And it's such a small world. And if you just get out, the dots start to connect. So yeah, whatever you're working on right now, definitely get out there, and don't let anything hold you back. And if you've got to leave people behind, you've just got to leave them behind. And whoever is meant to be with you will come with you on the journey. Yeah, so Mandela Bay, shot in front of the palm trees. That was in Las Vegas, though. I just remembered Las Vegas. So when I was in Las Vegas, I just got a little bit of shots for Hootie G, but I also shot for Young in Vain once again. My hotel room had an incredible view with the city lit up, and so I had the black blazer with diamonds. I styled it as though it was like a female Michael Jackson look. Shot that in front of the window, just something minimal like that. Like my room looked amazing. It looked eccentric, and so just shot the girl, showing her as though she's in the limelight now. Do you know what I mean? But it's nice to watch from the outside in, styling myself to create an image as though I'm not that person, but I am her. But I like to talk about myself in third person, because whenever I bring a piece together or direct a scene or something, I want to feel how somebody else would feel watching me. Do you know what I mean? Like from the outside in. So it's just the way I talk about myself. like styling her, talking about me as a different character. I like to put myself on to tell the story. And sometimes, I guess when I talk about myself, I separate myself from the person. I don't know why I do it. I think that's how I bring my best. That's how I, convey a concept well. But yeah, Las Vegas was very quiet. Should we just talk about that for a minute? Las Vegas was it's not the same anymore. It's not as busy. We knew that when we were going. We were watching, obviously, reviews on Las Vegas. And it's just not the same. The lights, let me talk about, I didn't have that much time. I spent 2 days in Las Vegas because we really kept it moving. Our schedule was so busy that I would only spend about 2 days here, 3 days there, 2 days here. Hotel hopping like I've never hopped before. But yeah, spent 2 days in Las Vegas, and I thought it's actually surprisingly small. Surprisingly small. Like when I got there, the Las Vegas Strip, it's not that big as what I thought it would be. I thought I was going to a whole city lit up. But no, you're just going to a strip, which is a couple of long roads of lights, casinos, and stuff like that. Like, it was definitely smaller than what I thought it would be. But it was still amazing. I saw someone light a fire in the freaking middle of nowhere. Just a fire. It was like 10 p.m. on the side of a road near a park, just some guy, and he was freaking lighting a fire, and it was massive, it was going up in flames. I was saying to whoever was with me, don't you think we need to report that, for safety? Do you know what I mean? Crazy stuff. We left it anyway, but let me not even get started on when I passed through Inglewood. Go do your research on Inglewood. There was a shooting a month ago near the area where I was at. I was like, mate, crazy. People just actually open fire. Do you know what I mean? But there's just a lot to talk about, guys. Bear with. It's been a mad run. I've got so much to talk about, and what you'll find is I'll just remember stories and I'll say it. Do you know what I mean? But I think I covered a good amount. Look, let's get into video 2 another time where I talk about some of the real encounters I had. But for now, it's just exciting that my debut album is out. We're working on the music videos. Did the album launch, Connection, styled by an amazing designer. There's just a lot going on. But yeah, join me next time where we talk about the spiritual stuff that went down in downtown LA. And I'm telling you, downtown Los Angeles is filthy. It's absolutely filthy, mate. Obviously, there's 2 sides to it, but there's 2 sides, downtown LA, yeah? But, yeah, near Skid Row, I've seen it all, mate. I've seen the fentanyl. I've seen people freezing in time. I've got lots to talk about. I've also seen people react when they just walk past us. We didn't say a word, but you reacted. Now, to me, why don't you react next to anybody else? But when you come near us who are believers, you react and you scream. If you know anything about demons who recognize the light, recognize people that believe in the light, they react because they hate the light. So lots to talk about, guys, all right? Let me know what you think, okay? And stay tuned on my social media. Got lots of content coming. Interviews that I've had with radio stations. Yeah, I went to, you know what, let me tell you quickly. I went to Hollywood Independent Music Awards. I got invited out there. And yeah, it was, let me just actually tell you, you know what, like what I thought about it. I preferred the Berlin Music Video Awards because I think their music videos were of a ridiculous standard. The mixing, well, I can't talk. Okay, Berlin was music video. I can't talk about mixing and mastering, but even their mixing and mastering was insane in Berlin. I was disappointed with Hollywood Music Video Awards. There was not one video that I thought was wow. But to be honest, it wasn't just focused on music videos. So let me say that. It was more focused on the artists and the singers. I would say there was one artist that I thought, okay, like, I see the way you bring your artistry together. And there was like an artist in hip hop. I thought he was quite cool. But it was not Berlin standard though. So Berlin is at the top there. And I just felt like at the Hollywood Independent Music Awards, a lot of the artists were singers, songwriters, but it didn't seem like they were pushing themselves. Once again, because I've been to the Berlin Music Video Awards, which I just thought was a whole different creative level. Like, I think if you want to be an artist, you need to think about your narrative. What is the concept? Because anyone can just write a song talking about they feel happy or they feel sad. But like, how do you've got to bring other things into play that make people believe that you were sad, believe that you were happy. Maybe it's the way you dress to the awards. You would wear a piece that speaks loudly about your song. That's how I perceive it anyway. So I just wasn't impressed with the Hollywood Independent Music Awards. But just to bear in mind, it was the music. It wasn't about the videos. But then they did play some music videos. And it was very basic. Very basic. But the people I met there, life-changing. People that work with really big artists. Remember, this was Independent Artist Awards. So people with low budgets. So it's understandable. But yeah, the people I met there, incredible. People really high up in the industry. People who are working with really big artists like Shania Twain. People that knew her were there. There was just a lot. There was just a lot. I'm trying to pinpoint. I met the person that produced Cher. You know Cher that has the single Do You Believe in Life After Love? Believe, right? Believe is the track's name. The guy that produced a lot of her albums. I think he produced, mixed and mastered some of Cher's biggest albums. And I met him there, took a picture, and he invited me to his studio. But yeah, I didn't get time to actually go to it. I was so busy. But yeah. I met a country artist that had just got a distribution deal with Sony. So yeah, it's just, you know what I mean? It just goes off at these events. I met this one guy, he's worked on really big hits back in the day. And I can't even remember what they are, but they were big hits. Like if he named them, it'd be like, oh my days. Yeah, that rings a bell. So he's worked on those tracks. So just people from time, coming together. But yeah, that's enough of my rant, guys. Join me next time as we go deeper, okay? Lots of love, and this has been Point Blank with Genevieve. I'll see you next time. Take care.